However, eh, hello everyone. Welcome to our Saturday night D&D session. We follow the exploits of Team Soteria, also known as the Tribor branch of Acquisitions Incorporated. However, currently they are not in the town that they are sworn to sort of patrol and protect. Instead, they are in the City of Splendor's Waterdeep. They're here primarily to investigate one of the characters' backstories. This player and character might be joining us a little bit later in the night, but due to him being absent for personal reasons or late for personal reasons, we're gonna do a one shot, and then we'll get back to his backstory in a session or two. But for the purposes of this session, as far as timeline goes, we're going to say it happens pretty much um, right after his personal sort of story. This part of it has been wrapped up, and as such, he's sort of contemplating everything that has happened. Some major revelations have been revealed to him, and so he's going to be at your room in the Yawning Portal, investigating his personal item he got, as well as these thoughts and feelings and emotions he's experiencing them. He's experiencing. Caxir is continuing to research more about devils and pacts and Glasia at the Font of Knowledge, but I don't believe she has revealed what she has learned with you all so far. And Vera is accompanying her. Vera is an NPC. And Evelyn has gone to the Spires of the Morning. She has received a sending spell that has called her there. She didn't give you the exact contents, but she said something along the lines of there's an opportunity for her to be promoted within the Order of the Aster, but she needs more accomplishments, like religious accomplishments under her belt before they can formally promote her to knight. And as such, she's going to be doing some stuff for them. She's taking a religious leave of absence from Acquisitions Incorporated. And that just leaves currently the three of you in the Yawning Portal. Let's just say it's morning for brevity and ease, and it's the next day, so you have full health, spell slots, all of that. And when you guys get, or Rex rather, starts getting that familiar scritch in his Documancer's satchel.
I think I'll just ignore it. No. I'll open it and take a look.
All right, inside is a urgent request from Acquisitions HQ. It says, it says as much. It says urgent, an urgent missive to all Acquisitions Incorporated teams currently operating in the city of Waterdeep or the vicinity. We have been tasked by the city to investigate and apprehend an arsonist that has been terrorizing Waterdeep recently. And then there are, that's a brief description. There are further instructions and descriptions to follow. It says this arsonist has been setting fire to the green spaces of Waterdeep, as well as the occasional building, and then parentheses, including but not limited to the shrines of nature, the hero's garden, and the banks of Mount Waterdeep. And you are tasked to investigate the scenes of these incidents and stop the arsonist from committing further crimes and property damage. The reward is 300 gold pieces.
All right. Guys, I feel so well rested, like I have all my spell slots. Oh,
All those barbarian spell slots.
yeah. Just so full of spell slots at this point.
Yeah. Being a paladin, I just got all the spell slots, Totally normal to be level 6, second level spells, right? Right.
He
I
does
know
have a half
exactly what you
caster.
mean, friend.
But
We all have spell slots here.
I mean, you can do. Your sword begins vibrating and says, I'm letting you use some of my magic. Koro, stop complaining.
Yes, my most powerful spell, sword.
That's good. I prefer hammer.
Another powerful spell. Maybe Rex can pick something up from you and I.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll ever be able to master exploding hammer.
He's got at least exploding, I know.
That's true. He's got half.
He's got, yeah, as far as we can tell, he's halfway there.
It looks like out of character. I don't know if you're stalling on purpose.
Yes.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
what I
know.
figured.
This is just
I just saw the message where he was like chaos. So
me and Natalie breakfast, and we're talking about our spell slots being fully restored.
Yeah, see, you have sword.
Mm.
He has exploding. And then I have exploding. Or, well, you have weapon. He has explosion. I have exploding weapon.
I know.
See?
I really need to get exploding down.
You should. I would definitely 10 out of 10 would suggest.
I think on my sword, and I think, what does it mean to explode my sword? But then I remember Vera could hear me, and I'm like,
she says,
not
please
that I would
don't.
ever do
I
that.
like this sword. It is magical and has some.
I would never explode my dear friend in sword ever.
No. You explode things with the sword.
I kind of do that. Just explode them into experience points and sometimes trinkets.
And loot. They're everything is a pinata to you.
Isn't it weird when you kill something and they explode into a number and
coins just drop everywhere?
Yeah.
It's like
we never talk about it, but
I love this movie, Scott Pilgrim. We just kill him and just boom.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking more like Borderlands when you kill someone and they just drop a bunch of like money and items for you to pick up.
I mean, that's any of those kinds of shooters,
You're like, ooh.
Yeah. Did you hear they're building a third Baldur's Gate? Baldur's Gate 3 is supposed to come out pretty soon.
I've never visited either the other two gates, but I'm really excited for this one. Like the first two, like they look fun. I'm just not sure if I'm ready for that old experience,
I know what you mean. They're so esoteric, as if the system and mechanics of which they operate are have completely been rewritten since then.
Yeah. I just can't handle it,
You never get to know a city until the third one is built. New
Right.
Baldur's Gate.
That's what they say.
The first one sank into the swamp. The second one also sank into the swamp. But the third one, it also sank into the swamp.
Third one's going to sink into the swamp. Just give it time.
Eventually. But that does raise the question. And I can't figure out a way to get this into character, so it's just out of character. Do you think there'll ever be a 6th edition?
Yes.
I've heard tell.
It is inevitable.
I've heard tell of a 6th edition.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know.
There'll be a marrying stat.
Were like the other editions worked on as much as 5th edition was?
I don't know. I started playing 5th.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
think fifth was pretty rigorously play test beforehand more than fourth was.
That does make sense. Oh, we got the exploding part back.
Welcome back, Rex. They've been commenting about
The third Baldur's Gate that's going to be opening soon.
and how they best make use of their spell slots or non-spell slots.
Uh-huh.
Slashing slots.
But yeah, now that you're back, so you basically have this premise where, or this job to capture, or kill, or at least prevent this arsonist from setting further fires. And they've given you the scenes of some of the crimes that they have, of some of the fires that they have set thus far. Yeah, you guys can take it from here.
Well, despite them not being my actual deity, I feel like I do have some deeper connection with nature now. So I feel like this is definitely something we should be checking out.
Oh
And
yeah.
it seems like,
In that case, the shrines of nature would have particular import to you.
yeah.
They are like the I believe the descriptions believe there are many goddesses of nature, like Maliki and her like the deities that serve her and Sylvanas and stuff. And so the shrines of nature are dedicated to each or all of those. If I'm remembering correctly, I'm too lazy to pull up the webpage. Each of the like north, south, east, and west other shrines of nature is devoted to a different nature god.
Okay. Have they hit only some of them, or
It's just said they've burned the shrines of nature. And
all of them?
the
Shoot.
hero's garden is similar, like if I had a real world equivalent, like Central Park, um, um, for New York. It's like the only really, besides the shrines of nature, it's the only public green space really, outside of nobles having their own lawns and stuff, in Waterdeep for the people to enjoy.
Well, there's the City of the Dead, right? Which is
Well,
like a big.
yeah, there's that as well, but that is also that's also dedicated to burying dead people.
Yeah.
Where and so it doesn't get a lot of visitors. Whereas the Hero's Garden is just a green space.
There may have been an arson or two in there. We don't know. But yeah, I think we should definitely check out which is the one nearest to us.
Real quick, is it early enough that I can change what spell Solstice Pancake has?
Yeah, you can do that.
This
There
will probably get close.
Create or destroy water is.
Yeah, so you can always go to the banks of Mount Waterdeep and see what you see.
So when you say the banks of the mountain,
I would
is that
say
just like
where you
the
see
base of
these
it?
green spots here,
Okay.
where there is like I'm assuming that's forest.
All right. Let's move out, team. Where
Sounds
Chevy
good.
turns into a car.
All right. Because the banks are of the mount is not as specific as Shrines of Nature and Hero's Garden. You do find the City Watch sort of guarding a cordoned off area, but it takes you a bit. You mainly follow your nose and ears for the sounds of guards, the clank of their armor, and them them walking around and patrolling, as well as the smell of like burnt timber. But you eventually do come across them. They're rolling out the police tape, so to speak. And when they see you, they say, "Hold, travelers or adventurers. This area's off limits to the general public."
Well, it's a good thing we're not part of the general public.
Yeah.
And I'll flip my Acquisitions Incorporated insignia.
Oh, it's you lot.
You might know us as that adventuring company.
Yes. The sad day in Waterdeep when City Gar are forced to turn to an adventuring group.
Well, we did lose our entire headquarters recently, so maybe just feel a little bit nicer to us.
Ah. He looks like he's about to say something, but he thinks better of it. He says, "Right." He was right. I'm supposed to give you guys, allow you guys entrance and allow you to investigate or whatever. Try not to touch anything, if you can help it. And if you have any questions for me, well, I'll try to answer them.
Very well, and what is your name?
Oh, Lord. My name's Gregor.
We'll come back if we have questions, Gregor. I'm sure we will have plenty.
Yeah, I'm good riddance.
I'll turn to Nat and Rex and be like, do we have any questions? I don't actually know anything.
Not at the moment, no.
No.
Then let us see if we can find any clues.
All right. So you proceed further into the wood. So it looks like where the cordoned off area was, there was still some greenery, but as you progress further into the wood, the trees become blackened. All of their foliage has been burned off. They've fallen over, and you eventually come upon what looks to be like the start where the fire was started. Let me see. I'm looking at my notes here. Of course, you smell that the burnt smell of ash is in the air, and it's very thick and heavy here. But it looks like they're not smoldering, so it looks to be. I don't think any of you are fire experts, but you can give me this will probably be a nature check or a survival check to figure out how long maybe you think this fire was set. Or you can continue to look around as well.
Nat's mostly just
With
going to
perception checks or investigation check.
Perception.
You got
Yeah,
it.
perception is just like a general surveying the scene. Investigation is to look at something in particular and discern more about it. Survival can help you look for tracks, or like I said, determine how the fire was started. It can determine how long ago it was started.
I got a nat 20. I'm going to put that in perception.
All right, let's
23.
see if I cannot roll a nat 1.
I've cursed you now.
Oh my god. I did the opposite.
20s abound.
Wow.
That's 2 20s. Okay.
All right.
It's up to Rex
There
now.
we go.
Yeah, just roll a nat 20.
Down.
On command. Oh, it wasn't a nat 20. It was a 18. That's still pretty good. All right.
Pretty good.
So what are each of you looking for? You have all rolled well enough to pretty much figure out whatever you want to,
We
depending on
know
what you're
who it
looking
is
for.
and we know where they are.
Not that much, but otherwise the session will be very short.
I would perception.
More like a no shot.
So you're just looking around for like a general sort of overview of the crime scene, and
Yeah, it's the only thing I got a plus in.
so it looks like from where you're looking at these trees, from where you're standing in the center of this clearing, and all these trees from it are sort of bent backwards, away from where you're standing. You see, and I don't know if you've seen like what is it's like when a volcano, sort of the blast of it knocks all those trees over.
Oh yeah, there's a name for that. I forget it though.
It sort of looks like that, but the trees are not just knocked over; they are also like stripped of all limbs and foliage, and just blackened on pretty much just one side, the side facing the where you guys are currently. There's plenty of ash and soot in the area, as you would expect from all the burning. It sort of echoes that blast pattern. It's like a ring around you, like concentric rings out and from the center of the blast zone, if you want to call it that, and as well as like in varying degrees, like it's heavier the closer it gets to where you're standing. But you also notice something curious. There appears to be ash and soot inside the area where you're standing, off to the side. And you didn't notice it at first because it's very fine. And it's not a raid like everything else. So that's what you see. What are the other two trying to look at?
I'd say Rex is using investigation to try to get to the source of the fire and determine if it's anything magical.
All right, so you're looking for like accelerants or
Yeah.
like fuel or things like that, and you don't.
Or even any like material components that somebody would use to do something like this.
Yeah, so you don't see any of that. Um, you don't. I mean, you don't see. I mean, you don't see Greek or alchemist fire. You don't see the stereotypical like material components for fireball if you're not using a spell focus. You don't see maybe any wood or kindling that they may have used. So you can conclude pretty much that either this forest, and I'm not gonna have you roll on a con check as well, but either this forest spontaneously combusted, um, uh, or lightning struck it, or someone used magical means to cause this fire.
Okay.
And now I look for tracks.
All right, a 21 is very good. So you think the fire. First of all, you think the fire, just based on survival, like smelling the air, surveying the damage, looking at the scene of the crime. You think the fire was set probably 3 days ago. And it looks like it didn't spread. To the home. Obviously, didn't spread to the homes of the buildings of Waterdeep. It looks to have been quickly contained, maybe due to its sort of place of prominence in the city. It's sort of in a elevated position that everyone sort of looks at because it's higher and it sort of catches the eye in the night sky or during the day even. Like, oh hey, look at that thing that's burning. So maybe that's why this fire didn't spread into the city. As far as tracks go, 3 days of tracks. I'm trying to see. 21 is still okay. You see some footprints. But they're very, very faint. It looks like the person was trying to hide their tracks, but was not maybe the greatest at doing so. And but they look to be from the impressions you're getting. They're very faint. They are a very small or petite person. As far as what race they are, you can't tell because they're wearing a shoe or a boot. but the size of it's small, probably around Nat's size. But it's not an armored boot, if that makes sense.
I look at Nat up, thinking like.
Meanwhile, Nat
maybe
is trying to use
like,
druidcraft all over the place, trying to get things to grow back.
Yeah, you can. There's very weak, like, buds will blossom out of the non-burnt part of the trees.
So I'll bring it up. I'll say that there's some tracks over here to you guys, and just be like, whoever it is, some sort of smallish commoner.
Huh.
But so you saw that like basically like this fire maybe was small and then exploded at some point.
I think we all saw that, but yeah, it's and it's not. There's no like fuel. There's no nothing. Just like it's most likely magical.
But maybe not intentional.
Maybe not.
So sorry, I need to clarify. Your Rashemi, your tracks, they circle exactly the perimeter of the blast radius, and then they go right to the center, and then that's all you can see from the tracks.
Maybe some kind of ritual. Hard to tell, but if we could get some more clues, perhaps we could figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's split up, gang.
You don't want to follow the tracks?
It seems like they ended at the fire to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, they flew away.
Let's see. It's cobalt. They can fly sometimes.
It's a kobold wearing shoes. The perfect crime. It's about time we caught this madman. Let's go.
I was gonna say, can I pop? Does one of us have an ability to detect magic other than me?
I think Rashemi can.
Is there some like how do you do that? Because I can do it, but I'm gonna take 10 minutes to do it. So I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to see if there's any.
Rashemi uses a pool, I believe. He can either use absorb elements or detect magic, up to his Constitution modifier per day.
I mean, I'm happy to cast a ritual.
About that.
Thought one of you did. I just wasn't sure.
I'll
cast
cast
a
ritual,
ritual.
but I can't ritually do it, and I don't have it prepared today. So.
Yeah, I mean, we have time if you want to just ritually do it.
So while we're
We
looking
keep
around.
looking around.
Oh, it's Indy.
Oh, hello.
That's early.
I'm driving right now.
Don't
Nice.
crash.
Well, we are. The party is investigating the scene of a fire that an arsonist has set, and they've set 3 of them thus far, and they're not one of them.
We've narrowed it down to spontaneous human combustion and a kobold wearing sneakers.
So not great.
Sounds about right.
The investigation goes well.
By the way, I'm gonna have to hop off pretty soon probably because I'm going to grab some ice cream with some friends. So.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, no worries, man. Take your time, have fun.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Well, we'll do the detect magic ritually.
I wish half-casters could do ritual.
You can. You just have to have it prepared.
No, half-casters can't do ritual casting.
I'm thinking of clerics and druids. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
But they're full casters.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Oh, I'm
sorry.
thinking about the ones who can do that. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey,
Ooh.
sometimes I get them confused. Okay, paladins and clerics are very similar.
Mm,
Yeah.
maybe
I mean, a
some
war cleric is pretty much a paladin, okay?
Mm, okay.
The only thing they really don't have is extra attack.
Multi-attack? Yeah.
But they can do it as a bonus action. So, you know.
Do they get anyway?
Yeah, they as a bonus action they can attack again. But it's a finite resource. They can do it up to their wisdom modifier per day. Okay. So Rex, was it Rex that was going to cast Detect Magic, or was it Rishemi?
I can do it ritually.
Okay. So you just sit on one of these burnt logs that's been knocked over and begin to ritually cast this spell. What are the other two of you doing?
I feel like we searched it pretty good before. Like, there's nothing else I can really do.
Yeah,
So.
Nat and I are hovering like 10 inches off the ground, absorbing all the we basically just cast commune. We know so much about
All
this.
right.
Like,
So your eyes are drawn back to who was it was Rishemi. Rishemi, your eyes are drawn back to this ash that is out of place in this crime scene while you're waiting here for 10 minutes.
all right, I investigate my ash.
All right. So it looked to be like it was obviously out of place just due to all the patterns of the ash, like I said, in concentric rings, out radiating out from the blast zone. This is inside where you are at, and it looks to be actually formed into. I mean, you probably can't read them. What languages can you speak? But you swear it's some sort of words. It's a words or something, letters.
Oh. I look at Rex, but he looks busy. So I wave Nat over and be like, Nat, come look at this. Can you look at these with your eyes?
And what languages do both of you speak?
I speak Druid, or not Druid, Sylvan, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
Okay.
I also know Dwarvish.
So Nat, looking at it, there's definitely some Sylvan letters here that you can read, but they're mixed in with some other alphabet as well, so you can only get part of the wording. And as such, there is a message here. I'm just going to read every other word for you because you don't know what the other language is, so you can't read it.
It's like a puzzle. We'll have
Yeah.
to solve it.
So this is going to be hard because I've written this out, so I'm going to try to just skip a word.
Can I buy a vowel?
If there was a god named Pat Sajak, then you could.
Sajak. No, he's not in my pantheon.
It reads the wording of it that you can read, like I said, it's every other word now. It's fire the dead away,
Why does
the
this sound like a real sentence?
young to flourish. Tongue decreed so.
Okay, so wait, we're firing the dead at the children?
Dope dead open inside.
Yes, what is it? Fire burns dead away, allowing young flourish. Tongue decreed so.
I mean, I feel like we got most of it.
Yeah, I think we got it.
I think we got most of it. I feel like we're missing a lot of does and twos.
Yeah, I think we just missed
like
like the articles. I think we're
yeah.
I think we basically got this.
I'm thinking like the last part was like the ancient tongue decree so something,
That makes sense. That sounds like some BS that elves would be into.
But no, this is Sylvan.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that they're the most ancient of elves, the Fae.
The Aladrin.
But you you think that there's some sort of religious significance to this gnat based on the wording of it.
Religious. How's good your religion? How's your intelligence?
Well, good thing I have proficiency in it because religion is +2.
We both look
Can I make
over
a
at
religion
Rex. He's
check?
still doing.
Yeah, you can.
Rex puts up one finger. Hold on.
Just a minute. I mean, more like five
so
more.
yeah,
5
no.
more minutes. He has his hands up and he just counts down like 4, 3.
Yeah, that was a 10 for my religion check.
Okay, yeah. You it's obviously there's some sort of religious based on where it's placed. You think there's some sort of religious context here, but beyond that, you're not certain.
Does this? Can I kind of make out if it was kind of like some kind of offering or whatever, thing for kind of like an evil fire god or anything like that?
Maybe if you rolled higher. But
Nice.
a 10 is not great.
If you had rolled higher, we would have found the baby bones that they used. Oh well, we'll just wait for Rex to come over and do comprehend languages or something.
All right, so
That'll be another 10 minutes.
your spell does go off shortly after they read and ponder this message, Rex, and you're just casting your magical senses over this area, and this would have been an Arcana check, but you got to detect magic, so it's very, very faint in the air. There's traces of magic, evocation magic, but it's very subtle, almost as if, or like almost blending in to the surrounding environment.
What would cause that to blend in?
That would be an
That seems
Arcana
weird.
check.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I'll just like, Rex, come read this, Rex.
Tell me
Right.
about this nature.
So there are a variety of reasons for it to be, thus so well hidden. It could be merely the time. Like I said, it's been 3 days since this fire has been set. It could also be the case that this person is communes with nature often. Maybe they're a hermit, or they worship a nature deity. So they could be like a nature-aligned druid. Cleric, or they could be a druid. Yeah, that's what you think thus far.
Okay. I'll relay that, and I'll say, now, what did you want?
I can half read this, and I'll point to the, inscription, part Sylvan.
I don't think I know Sylvan, but I probably know comprehend languages.
It is a
Well,
pretty
here,
good
I mean,
spell.
you said, what languages do you know? Maybe the other.
Yeah, what
parts
languages do
might
you know? Maybe this language might be one of them.
Common, Dwarven, Draconic, and Celestial.
It is not one of those.
All right, I'll get my
Does
book bag
everybody
out.
know Dwarven? All right,
Are you
everybody,
sure
we're
it's
speaking
not
in Dwarven
Dwarven?
for the rest of the day.
How positive are we it's not Dwarven?
Pretty
As
positive.
3 of us that could read Dwarven are staring at it.
I mean,
Listen, if it is Dwarven, though, we'll know.
I try to give my characters at least Common, Dwarven, and Elvish, or Dwarvish and Elvish.
It's very common.
But this is not one of those. Probably one of the. You don't recognize the word, what the meaning is, but you recognize the letters. It's probably one of the more exotic languages, Rex.
See, you got to take primordial, because then you can understand Aquan, Terran, whatever the fire and wind ones are, abyssal. They're all connected.
Abyssal is primordial?
Yeah, it's the twisted hell version of primordial.
Well, yeah, if you look at the languages of D&D and look at what letters each one uses, the Dwarven one actually has the most, letters across all the spoken languages, so to speak.
I knew that, Dwarvish and Draconic were both sort of bases for a lot of languages. Anyway.
Yeah, those two are pretty good for as far as
Give me 10
reading.
more minutes.
I mean, you can always
Let's
ask
see
the
what else we
guard
can
for some more
find.
information while Rex is counting down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Gregor. We're gonna put the hurt on him. Start cracking my knuckles.
He is
Okay,
not
you
alone.
mean-
There are other guards around. He's just the only one that addressed
I
him.
got
He looks to be like the
fireballs.
sergeant in charge, maybe.
I'll take all these guards on.
I know
I
in
mean,
general
I feel
hit
like we
points of
could, but we
guards.
shouldn't.
Fireball will clean them right up, and it'll probably blend right into this crime scene. I mean,
Except for all their bones and, you know.
we got a hordes person bag for that, right?
What's the forensic scene like in Waterdeep?
Of course, I mean, if you
Oh,
want to go
pot.
murder hobo, we can go murder hobo.
I am positive we would get found out.
Hey, I might be chaotic, but it's chaotic good, all right?
All right, I'm gonna go talk to Gregor while
All right, you be
Copperly
bad cop, I'll be good cop.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
I punch him in the mouth.
No, you don't.
I don't. I go to and then I put my arm around him and I say, Gregor, what the hell happened here?
Yeah, he just extricates himself from your arm. We ain't friends.
Not yet, Gregor.
Right.
Roll
Yeah.
charisma.
And,
You remind me of someone I knew back in Silvery Moon.
oh yeah? One of them elven folks, I bet.
Yeah, he rode a ship and he was my best friend. Was that Silvery Moon? I forget where we were. Anyway, what have you found?
Oh, that was that. Oh, your salty dog boy.
Old salty.
That out of fresh water. Yeah, that was Yartar.
Yartar, that's what I'm thinking of.
He says to you, he says, "Well, what do you want to know?"
Well, I want to know if there was any evidence that had been moved before we got here or anything like that.
No. The watchful order of mages and protectors are busy.
Busy?
They said they were, and it looks like he's saying it like he's quoting, and he doesn't hold up the fingers to indicate air quotes, but it's pretty obvious he does. It's his tone at least. They are investigating strange arcane currents in the air, or some such nonsense.
Aren't they always?
Yeah,
Jeez.
tell me about it.
Wizards.
And so the watch took over, and then when we thought we were to solve this case ourselves, without the help of those damn pansies, we were told to wait for some consultants, some experts. And so
You guys look over, and Rex is just holding up the middle finger at all of you.
And so we've been sitting here on our asses for 3 days waiting for you.
I wonder what that arcane symbol he's doing with his hand means. Anyway, so the mages are looking for chemtrails, but you have experts or something like that?
Yeah, that's you.
Oh, oh no!
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I say, well, we do have a pretty good track record of failing to catch wizards stealing books, so I can see why they turn to us in our time of need.
I don't know what that means.
You seem like a good guy, Gregor, so I will go talk to my friend. He's probably almost done casting Covenant languages.
Yeah.
I sure hope so.
Is there anything else you want to ask him? Like he has asked you if you want to know anything else. You don't have to, of course. You can go back to Rex.
I mean, was there anything about the stuff the mages were researching that coincides with the fires or anything like that, or they think they're completely separate?
I don't know that, but I am familiar somewhat with I worked a lot with the Watchful Order. They occasionally send mages to assist us. If they thought these fires coincided with what they were working on, they would have sent someone over to look at them. But I mean, like I said, there's the note you probably got mentioned. There's been 3 fires in the city thus far. As far as we can tell, the first one's here. at the base of Mount Waterdeep, and then the second one took place at the next night at Heroes Garden, and the third took place at the just last night at the Shrines of Nature.
Oh, so this was the first one. I guess that makes sense why the tracks and everything seemed 3 days old. Well, if I have other questions, I'll be back. And I back away. All the way back to Rex.
All right, Rex,
How's it?
you are done casting Comprehend Languages.
Okay.
And so you go up to this text that's arrayed in ash and read it, and it looks to be like a mixture of primordial, Ignan, specifically, and Sylvan, and it reads in its entirety. Fire burns the old dead night away, allowing the new young dawn to flourish. The flaming tongue has decreed it so.
Oh, what flaming tongue? Do I know anything about that?
Now you can give me a religion check.
I would love to. Boop, 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 boop.
You are not familiar with any gods. I mean, they have their name, of course. So like Lathander, or Mistra, or Ogma, or Denier, but they also have like titles. So Lathander would be like the Morning Lord, and Mistra would be like Lady of Secrets or something like that. I can't remember all of hers exactly, but you get the idea. But so this would probably be a title of a god, not their actual name, and you are not aware of any god that has the title the Flaming Tongue. So that means possibilities are it's a cult, or it's just some obscure god that you've never heard of from across the continent.
Wow. Okay. I'll relay that.
Would I know that Flame Tongue are those super cool flaming swords?
You don't think it's that. You have seen paladins wield them. The Order of the Aster, they favor flaming.
Evelyn has one.
Yeah, the paladins of Lathander, and specifically those of the Order of the Aster, favor blades made of pure light, or ones that erupt into flames. But you don't think that's what caused this fire, and you don't believe it's referencing that.
Well, I cannot do better than you with that religion check, so I'm not going to bother rolling. Oh well. Should we just go to one of the newer, more recent crime scenes?
Yeah, and I do want to follow up with the Order of Watchful Mages about what they're looking into, because it seems like there's something going on in the area that they're investigating.
Yeah, sure.
That seemed connected. I mean, to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it is, but
yeah, if you want to do that, we should go do that.
let's go find out what they know or what they're willing to tell us.
Let me look at where they're headquartered, but I'm gonna guess it's the Blackstaff Tower, just because she's like, head mage, so to speak, of the city.
Excuse me, have you let Strix in yet?
That trash witch will never be allowed in. I just look at Watchful Order, not Black Mage.
Blackstaff is only wizards, correct? No other form of magic casters?
I don't know. The Blackstaff is a title, and it's given to the person who holds the staff. So it's a possibility that,
I thought they were a guild.
No, the Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors is a guild. so to speak.
Gotcha.
The group. The black staff is like the court wizard, so to speak, of Waterdeep. And they're called the black staff because of the magic item, the black staff. Just out of character knowledge. It houses the souls of all the previous black staffs in it, and avatar style. It's a very powerful magic item. Okay, so it doesn't say where their headquarters is, but I'm going to guess, like I said. Oh wait, no, they're located in the Tower of the Order in Waterdeep. Going to the interactive map of Waterdeep.
So
I'll probably put this on the map too. So that's smack dab in the middle of the castle ward, next to the D on the ward. So that is cha. And I'll put that up at the end of the session. But it's right at where if you see where the middle of the D is, it starts to slope downward. That's where it is, right there, where I'm pinging on the map. So not too far. So you guys decide to go over there? Or do you want to go to these other crime scenes?
No, I think we should go there first, just to have the background.
Yeah.
All right, you head on over. And have any of you sort of I know some of you that don't have religious, exceptions are members of the Watchful Order, but have any of you? I don't believe any of you leaned into that role enough to have actually sort of gone to the Tower of the Order and investigated it and looked around and familiarized yourself with it. Am I mistaken, or is that correct?
No. No. I mean, yeah, you're right.
All right, so this is your first time here, Vim, and of course there are some mages standing outside as sort of guards, but they allow you entry once Rex shows his sort of identification. And inside it looks to be very quiet.
Very quiet inside.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Like a wave of sleepiness just hit me. I'm trying to, and it shouldn't, and I'm trying to blink the crust out of my eyes or whatever.
Yum.
Okay, so Tower of the Order. The guards allow you entry. They warn you not to try not to disturb the mages inside. They're working on some important work. And inside is very quiet. You don't see anyone at the entryway to greet you. Looking around, you do see what look to be like, research labs, and let me actually look at Tower of the Order, see if they have it. Okay, here we go. Sorry, it's better than me ad-libbing it. The tower is 4 stories tall, and it's fashioned from stone and surrounded by a magical fence of green sparkling lights that coalesced into the symbols of Mistra and Azuth. A mosaic of the hand of Azuth above the tower's ingress is said to guard the tower, ready to cast fire spells at any would-be intruders. And apparently it's the most spectacular guild hall in the castle ward. So, that's what you see entering. the tower. Yeah, inside it's very gloomy. Not gloomy as in there's not a lot of natural light inside. Perhaps it's sort of a cool, dry environment as well. And like I said, very quiet, and you don't really see anyone to talk to. But looking around, you do see people maybe lost in thought or research. You do see there's some like laboratories here, or places of research as well. There's some libraries as well. There's more personal rooms for individuals as well, but they're higher up in the tower. Do you just want to try to find anyone in particular, or just the closest person you can see?
I mean, I wouldn't really know anybody here, right?
You do know someone, the person that inducted you into the order, but you don't know if she's here. I believe you also know that. Vera is a member of the Watchful Order as well.
Does she station here? No.
No, she's not.
She's out of Soteria.
Her Ack Inc. Headquarters in Silvermoon is where she primarily lives. But when she's in the city, you do know that she has a room at the Tower of Mistra,
Gotcha.
House of Wonder.
Okay. No, I'll find. I guess maybe just the first person I see.
And this person's they look to be younger, probably even younger than you. I mean, Rex is what, 30s, 40s?
Probably right around 40, 45. Somewhere.
Okay, this person looks to be a very young mage, wizard, you believe, based on the plethora of books scattered about that they're reading from. A very young man who probably just graduated from mage college, so to speak. And you sort of tap him on his shoulder and he goes, "Ah!" And he turns around with a fright, scattering all the books and dropping the one he was reading. And his spectacles fall from his face.
Like, relax, son.
Who's there?
I'm a member here. I was seeking some information.
Okay, just a moment. And you see him like go down his knees and start fumbling around for his glasses, which fell to the floor. And he finds them, and breathes a sigh of relief that they are not damaged, or did not step on them underfoot. And he puts them back on his face. He goes, "Oh, that's better. I could only see an outline, the vaguest of shapes."
It's fine. So we were looking for information. We understand that the Order's looking into some strange phenomena in the area, specifically, I'm sorry, remind me, like weather-based? Is that accurate?
The wording that the guard used was strange arcane currents in the air.
Gotcha. So anything to do with some kind of local phenomena due to magic. We're investigating the arsons that have occurred around here. We were told that the Order was looking into something that I thought was related. So does that sound familiar?
Oh, well, the arsons, the fires are the talk of the town. I mean, a lot of us thought that the Order would get involved, but the higher-ups told us that they're investigating some other issue, and it doesn't seem to be linked to that. But what they are investigating is quite fascinating. Of course, being a junior member, I am not involved in the investigation of what the higher-ups are doing, but I have some thoughts on the matter that we can discuss if you would like.
Absolutely. What are you thinking?
Yes. So, like that wording you used is very particular. In fact, it's the wording that they gave to us as well as an explanation. I suspect, based on my research, as you can see, and he's motioning to all the books he's reading, I suspect it has to do with a gathering of magical energy. in the area, but who is behind it or what, and for what purpose, I do not know yet.
That's interesting. And so, I mean, do you think it could be related to the arsons?
Oh, I think we should at very least investigate it, but like I said, only a junior member. I don't really get much say in how the order operates.
Do you know of anybody that we could ask that is more involved?
And I'm just looking at the these sort of people of the Watchful Order that exist. But these are all 3.5, and so they're probably dead if they're not elves. So, yeah, this person's a human, so probably dead.
There's like that dwarf lady, Ocoria.
I have inhabitants here. I have Mythar, Seltoon, but they're a human, all the way back in 1372, and it's 1492 currently. So, like I said, probably dead. And the only other person I have is Olar Thamas, but they have a red text, which means there's not a link for that. But I'm trying to find just a list of. I'm just going to look up Watchful Order members. I opened up like 3. Well, Barnabas Blastwind, of course. It says the current oh God. Here's where I shake my fist and shout, Perkins!
Oh God, it's gonna be a good name, huh?
So this is the guild master. I'm assuming the current guild master because they're in the same section with Barnabas Blastwind, who is a current member of the Watchful Order. He's in the heist of Waterdeep heist, Dragon heist. The guild master apparently successor to Condor Ten Rings Nomal. The current guild master is called Bogentra Summertian.
Fun.
So that's a horrible name. And just the worst. Yep. Okay, so we have some here. I don't know if this is... Let's see. You would talk to... Probably someone higher up. He says you can try to talk to... I have a bunch here. I don't know if these are canon, but we're going to go with it. They're also pretty bad, too. She says you can... Oh, sorry, the man here says, try to talk to Lady Castigation.
Okay. Do you know where can I find her? Can you give me direction?
Oh, on one of the upper floors.
Okay. Is it something you'd be interested in coming with us? I know you've done your own research. Perhaps you could add something to it.
Oh. He thinks for a moment and says, while I would like to accompany you, I suspect Lady Castigation has quite a reputation around the order for You know if I can politely phrase this. He says for teasing younger members of the
hazing noobs.
Of the order, and I feel like since I have shown an interest in the topic, she will not divulge any information, or she will speak in parables or riddles that if I am present. And I feel like, pardon me for saying, but some of your friends here do not seem to be well educated in arcane matters.
You can say it. I'm not a nerd. I know.
So whatever she says may be beyond them.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your help. I I guess I will head upstairs for this. I mean, I could talk to her alone. I kind of get the feeling she might be almost offended based on what that kid just said. Not offended, but like put out to have the conversation with somebody not as arcane.
Yeah, they seem the type. So if you want to go fight by yourself, I'd understand.
I don't want to. I just think it might be beneficial.
Do you have any, like, a waiting room we could stay in? Maybe
You have
some
highlights?
some snacks.
Some snacks.
I like magazines.
Like the highlights and
You have
Golf Digest.
a year old car and
Come on,
driver.
I can spot all the differences. I know I'll do it this time.
Please, you gotta give me a second chance.
Just the local broadsheets, at least.
Well, you do see some advertisements for plays and a magic show by wizard extraordinaire Jim Darkmagic.
Of course.
Guy is still here.
It says
you guys meet him?
it says the real Jim Darkmagic wizard extraordinaire. It says the real and in parentheses for reals though, Jim Darkmagic.
Of course.
Indy, we can't really hear
Yeah,
you.
you roboted out there, Indy. Maybe a patch of
Sorry.
bad connectivity.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yep, I'm just trying to drive back home.
And
Well, if you us to stay bit Rex, we could always check out the other places that were
Yeah, that's fine. I can
arsoned.
reach out to you actually. When I'm done here.
You can always reach out to me, Rex. I put a hand on his shoulder.
I'm
right here. I'm right next to you.
Thank you.
Please reach out to me right now. Put your hand on my shoulder.
I put my hand on Indy's shoulder.
Not me. I'm talking to Rex.
All right, I'll go upstairs.
All right, Nat, Indy, let's get to looking for arson.
Yeah.
Okay, where's the fire?
We're gonna go to the most
A good
recent.
one.
I didn't know we had a kid.
What?
We're going to
The
look for our
changeling?
son. We're going to go look for our son.
Well, our son is actually all the way back in Tribor, so we're...
yeah, Ren's in Tribor.
Yeah.
Also, we're Joe. But anyway.
Yeah, I like to be clear. I was not making a joke about the changing child.
I know. Yeah, I figured, but still, we're
Because
Joe.
I would have used like the proper pronouns, but yeah. I was just trying to make a good old flame joke. Looks like that one fizzled out though. It didn't really.
I try not to acknowledge puns in the hopes that that anyone will no longer make them. So.
Well, you do not know me, obviously.
So wait, are we heading to the new or the most recent crime scene while Rex is talking to them?
You can, and he can catch up to you late or whatever you guys want to do.
You guys can wait too.
Yeah, you can wait as well. You don't know how long it'll take.
Yeah, let's just wait. No point in getting split up.
There is like their waiting receptionist room here, and you can sit down there. It's office size, very small and cramped, but there is a very lonely looking. As you sort of sit down, you feel like a magical pulse go out, maybe, or something pricks your sort of arcane senses. For Shemi. Not
Oh.
you, but your swords. Vera's.
No, I feel
and
it in my
Matt.
spell slots.
Um, and you see after a while there's this very slowly floating tray that comes up to you, and it's very the offerings on it are meager at best, but it looks like some crackers maybe or wafers and very like thin, watery looking like alcoholic beverages.
Hmm.
And the tray is just floating on by. And then it stops in front of you for a moment, as if to pause.
I'll take a drink.
Hmm. I will also take it.
Yeah, it's not
And
good.
Okay.
this is how we have a drinking
Because-
competition inside of the
because
prestigious
I-
Wizards area.
Mm.
Because I haven't been here, is this, like, would I have any reason to suspect this food?
I don't think so. Like, I mean,
Like, who are, I need a bit more background about, like, where we are exactly.
you're the
This is like
headquarters
a
for the
public
Watchful
building.
Order of Magus and Protectors.
Oh,
They're
right.
basically the special. Think of them as like the magic police of Waterdeep, or like a crimes unit, if you will, of the City Watch.
They're the magical FBI.
Yeah. Like instead of like a SVU, Special Victims Unit, they have a Magical Crimes Unit. And that's what the Watchful Order is.
MCU.
Yes, there will be no. That acronym will not cause any complications or confusion. Don't worry. So yeah, there's no really like you wouldn't. There's no threat of poison here unless you've done something like the mages would just blow you up. They wouldn't stoop to poison. If you earned their ire. So it is of course gross, very thin, like I said, watery beer, and the wafers lack a lot of taste, as well. But and after you partake,
We get the bill.
the tray just floats away slowly and sadly again.
Oh. No, I'm sad.
How does the tray float sadly? Paint me a word picture.
Okay, so you know how a person would walk, like if they're feeling dejected or trying to not to avoid attention, or keep themselves. If they had a hoodie on or a jacket with a hood, it'd be up. They'd be sort of hunched over, um, and keeping their arms close to them. Imagine a person was doing that, but they were invisible and holding a tray, and that's what it looks like.
Okay.
So it's like it's not parallel to the ground; it's slightly drooped forward. Especially now, even more so that's empty now. That's even more apparent. It's not also smoothly gliding through the air. It seems to be like the thing, even though you don't see what's propelling this tray. It's almost like it's taking very heavy steps, very heavy, slow steps as well, because it kind of like it's tilted forward, but it'll lean then to the left and then to the right, and the left and the right as it moves forward.
Okay.
Invisible servant.
Yep,
Unseen.
unseen
Whatever.
servant, most likely.
It's velvet.
If it had something draped over him, but this is just
It is velvet sans velvet. It is just,
blank. No.
yeah. Just the silence.
But it floats away, and that's what you guys are enjoying. And I use that term as loosely as possible. While Rex is trying to find and question Lady Castigation. And you do eventually find her. She's on the 3rd floor of the tower, and she looks to be like a red-skinned tiefling woman with white hair. And of course, I'm going off the art on this webpage, so I can almost guarantee you it's not official. as are these people. I don't know if they are official members of the Watchful Order, but that's the best thing I could find, so we're going with it. She'd be like an older, like a middle-aged tiefling woman with red skin, white eyes, and long white hair. And she is sort of seen, looks like she's sort of corralling some of the younger members of the guild. You look at them, Rex, they're older than the person you talked to, but still probably early 30s to late 20s in age.
Okay.
And she's sort of like handing out tasks to them, overseeing some of them, and that sort of thing. And she looks up and she says, I don't recognize you as one of mine. What can I do for you?
Hi, my name is Waltharius Rex. I am a member here. I'm not stationed here, but I work for Acquisitions Incorporated, actually. And I've been looking into the arsons that have been occurring around the city. And I spoke with the guards there. They mentioned that the Order was researching a strange phenomena in the area, kind of localized to Waterdeep. And so I was wanting to figure out if there was anything that you might think would be related to the arsons.
And she purses her lips in thought and says, I'm not sure how much I should divulge to an apprentice of the Order, but I will say that at this time the Order is not convinced that the fires that this arsonist is committing have anything to do with the matter that we are currently researching.
If there's anything, I mean, is there any way that, I mean, even me as a member here, I know I'm not practicing under the Order or anything like that, but I mean, can you tell me anything about what you guys have found, what you're looking into?
Any persuasion?
Yeah.
Ooh, not great.
It's a good roll for me. I just don't have a bonus.
Yeah, but she'll say,
What did you roll?
13.
Okay. Above average.
It's above average, but this is like sensitive information, so it's probably not enough to pry that out of her.
Yeah.
So she'll just say, the Watchful Order. She says, you are correct. You are not high enough in the Order to be privy to such matters, so you'll have to be content with the official line that we have given to the City Watch, as well as those other parties interested, that the Watchful Order is currently investigating strange arcane currents.
I understand. Thank you for your time, I guess. If you do find anything that's connected, can you please contact maybe Acquisitions Headquarters or perhaps send me a message.
Yes, if I have the time.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for your time, and good luck with your research.
And she usually gives you a curt nod, and then she smacks journeyman mage on the head. It's like, get back to work. All right, you leave the upstairs and go back to find that your party members are looking very displeased with the refreshments that have been provided to them.
Right. I'll walk back down. They're not going to tell me anything.
Darn.
Food is also terrible, so.
That's why I don't have an office here.
Well, then maybe we should just continue our work elsewhere.
Yep. I'm not convinced, but they just won't tell me anything.
Yeah. We found the footprints the first time. Hopefully we can.
Yeah.
This time around.
All right, there are two other fires to investigate. You said you wanted the most recent one, correct? You can always go to both if you want, but I believe you did say that you wanted to. All right, so you head to the Shrines of Nature. It's in the Sea Ward of Waterdeep. In fact, it's quite close to the Mudflats, where you guys had that impromptu beach episode.
Cool.
I think I was here for that.
Were you? I think you might have been. I don't remember.
I know Caxer, Aveline, and Indy were there. And it was 9 More Lives was there as well.
Yeah. So that predates quite a few people, actually.
I'm trying to look at. Okay. Okay, so I was mistaken in my description, but I'll give you a better one. So you have the Shrines of Nature. Is a carefully cultivated grove of trees and wild-growing plants in the middle of the metropolitan Waterdeep. At the end of the green grounds is a shrine. Maliki is to the northern part, and it's slightly larger than the other. And the southern end, is to Sylvanas. And it would be a glorious place of celebrating nature in the midst of all this, stone and steel. But for, the burnt stuff bits, which is most of it.
I'll say a small prayer to Maliki.
And similarly to the banks of Mount Waterdeep, this area has been cordoned off, and they say, of course, very similar. They say, hold out their hands. The guard does, and this area. I was like, I apologize for any inconvenience. Different voice. Apologize for any inconvenience, but this area has been closed to general public as well as any practitioners or followers of Maliki and Sylvanas or other gods of nature. We would like to direct you to the plinth so that you may worship there.
He's talking to me?
Yes.
Oh.
Probably.
Yeah.
We're currently investigating fires that have been set in Waterdeep by an arsonist, and we believe this fire to be one of them. We're working hard to catch this criminal.
I say, show him the badge. No.
I'll show them both my badges. How about that?
Oh! I did not realize you were part of this group of experts. And I also take it that the Watchful Order has finally decided to take an interest in these fires.
We're here under the offices of Acquisitions Incorporated, but I am a member of the Order.
Oh.
But we're here operating as the mercenary group.
Oh, I see. Well, that is
Everybody's always so disappointed.
And also experts.
That is disappointing, but any help that you can offer is
see
quite
me
welcome.
smiling.
It's most vexing, this fire. And the scale of it and how often they're being set. And with no signs of alchemy. Very strange.
Yeah. And the other thing, and this is kind of not to this guy, but just my side comment. Isn't it weird? Like, don't they normally know the magic that's cast in the city?
I don't know. I didn't look up like the lore of casting magic in the city, but I think usually the Watchful Order will send at least a mage to investigate if a magical crime has taken place. So that in of itself that they have not is very strange.
Well, I go looking for words written in.
Oh, yes, of course. Let me get the tape for you. Rashemi, give me a perception check.
And I roll another nat 20.
Ooh, that's not great.
Nice.
See, it takes you a long time, just due to the size of the shrines of nature, to find the starting point. To find the starting point of the fire. But when you do, and this is not dependent on your roll, but based on prior knowledge, it is almost the exact same copy of what you saw at the banks of Mount Waterdeep. How the trees are arrayed, the concentric radiating, rings of ash and dust, the ash and soot letters at the center of the explosion or fire, the lack of accelerant, the circle of footprints around the perimeter of the blast zone. It is 1 for 1.
And is it just in the middle of this space? It isn't
Yes.
at any one of the particular.
It's not any of the shrines. It's in the exact middle. It's exact. Well, you would guess, without measuring or making a check, you would guess that it is exactly in between both of the shrines.
That's interesting.
But these tracks don't extend past this thing again. Seems like whatever steps are made here just end where the words are written.
Yes.
He got away again.
I have a question about this. Is the geography, like prior to this arson event, the same configuration?
What do you mean
Is it
by that?
like, the like you're saying, like concentric rings and the blast and the everything's 1 for 1. Like, are the trees arranged the same? Like, is this some kind of like?
So the trees, of course, are different as far as their positions in it go,
Okay,
but
that's
they
what
are
I wanted to
similarly
know. I didn't know
knocked
if-
back.
Yeah. Okay, so the effect is the same. I didn't know if I didn't know if there was something they were doing
Yeah,
in
the
the
alignment
city that
of the
was setting
trees.
exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't look to be the same, but everything else is.
Okay.
Because that would have been interesting, and we could have looked for that alignment. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to look at here to see if you see anything different, or if you have any more questions for the guards?
Try to find some tracks here.
Give me a survival check.
9.
It's not great. The only tracks you do see are the ones that Rashemi points out to you that he saw last time.
What is... Are there any places that, other kind of like naturey places that have not been attacked yet? Try to catch them in the act.
Give me an intelligence check.
That's even worse. 0.
Oh. I mean, you can voice this to the party, but you have no idea. Even though
that's
you've
what I
lived
said,
here
'cause
your
I
whole
got a
life,
1.
pretty much. You're like, I don't know. Is there any other green spaces in Waterdeep?
You have forgotten to just speak.
The fire, Waterdeep places.
You know it.
I mean, yeah, you can voice this suspicion to the party. You yourself are at a loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I say this out loud, not very eloquently. Does anybody else know?
Well, I mean, the City of the Dead is the only other green place like that I know of out of character, but um, we could ask, the guards.
I bet you know anyways, you're smart.
Yeah, I roll really well too on all checks.
Yeah. Always.
I mean, you won't know until you try.
I mean, it's hard to, or it's hard not to.
It's not a difficult check, but a 0 is. I mean, 0 is not. It's one could say it's one of the worst you could roll. Without going
I've
negative.
seen somebody get a
Without going
negative one.
negative. All right. So what are you guys doing?
I mean, I'll go ask the guards about the next green space in the city that is closest to here.
Okay. Um, he'll say, "Oh, hello. Back so soon."
Yes, we did really well and succeeded all our checks, so I'm just here to ask some follow-up questions. Where's the next nearest green space here in the city?
Huh. He thinks for a moment and says, "Well, I mean, in this outside, of course, there's a lot. But inside, do you mean ones that have or have not been burned?"
Haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of noble estates, ones of the more prominent or older, more distinguished or richer families have lawns of their own. Um, it's quite rare just due to space and the population of Waterdeep. But I would say the largest green space, I mean, technically it's green space, I guess, if you want to think of it that way, is the City of the Dead. But most people don't think of it as, a forest or a green space. They think of it as a graveyard.
Well, might as well check it out, right?
Is that where you think the arsonist is going to strike next?
I can't read minds.
I think that is definitely where they're going to strike next. However, it is also quite huge.
Do you think we should alert the rest of the guards? The city watch?
I think we should.
Probably be a good idea.
We should get a whole canvassing thing going on in the City of the Dead.
Okay. Well, I'll put in that request, but I don't know if my superiors will allow it on such short notice.
And put out an APB for a kobold wearing sneakers. He's in the city somewhere.
Okay, so I know what the first thing is, but not the second.
And that's why I'm the expert.
Yes, of course. I defer to your superior knowledge. I'll let my superiors know.
We don't have much time.
And he does send someone to inform. He says, "Write this down." And he says, and he tells them verbatim what you said to him. And his even though this person's quite young, looked to be like a similar position to the sergeant you met earlier, the Gregor. But his subordinate looks at him with incredulously when he tells him to write down a kobold with sneakers. And then he says, "Do as I say, man. Get going." And he nods and runs off to the report to the higher ups in the City Watch. He says, "Is there a time that you would like?" Well, before he goes, he asks you if there's a time. The runner goes. He asks you if there's a time you want the city watch to assemble. He will note that he says the first reports of the fires have taken place at night. He says technically at dawn, but we believe the fires were set at night, just before the sun rises.
Let's get it started at like twilight, because my understanding is that there is a regular fire happening beforehand anyway, and that would be noticeable. Oh no, the city of the dead is covered with drift globes. It's going to be impossible to see a fire. Shit. I say we'll look for fire on the ground, and I'll sort of explain the difference between looking for fire and looking for drift globes.
Huh. Never thought of it that way.
It'll be on the ground and be orange.
Yes, I know. I mean, the difference is in light.
Expert opinion here, that's all.
Okay. He tells the runner what you said, and he writes it down too. So off you go.
All right. I mean, I think we should maybe investigate the city of the dead beforehand, just us, but unless you guys had something else to do.
Yeah, I mean, due to all the travel time you guys have taken so far, it's probably late afternoon, early evening now.
Okay.
So you can of course probably preempt the guard and go there if you sorry, they call it the city watch. The city watch and go there if you want, or you could do something else and wait, or we could just montage, whatever you want to do.
Yep. We montage, we all train and level up, and then we go to the city of the dead.
All right, here's City of the Dead. You get there at twilight. There are a few guards there. But it's not what you were expecting, Mishemi. And you see the helpful young guard from before, and he says, "Hello, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name, Acquisitions Incorporated expert, but as you can see, it looks like the higher ups were not convinced of your expert opinion, so they didn't deign to send anyone. But I did manage to gather up a few like-minded volunteers, and we are here to help in any way that we can. Off hours, of course, as dictated by our superiors."
Fine. I admire your diligence to protecting the city, and I need all of your names right now.
Oh man.
Why
Well,
would you do that?
I'm named Calvin. My name is Calvin.
This is Calvin. This is Hobbs.
Name Hobbs.
And
So
this is
many
Dorian
from
here,
Hobbs.
and this
Professor
is I'm Calvin. This is Dorian. This is Edward. This is well, his name is long. We just call him Fitz. And this is Jeff. And then this is I'm just going by the alphabet, so you get the picture.
Very well. Well, we have no time for introductions. We have to get in here and see if we can't find. We're looking for ground fires of any kind.
Yes. Lord Expert, can you explain to those assembled the difference between light from a drift globe or a glow globe and a natural source?
Yes. Well, okay. So your drift globe, and are there any just floating around right now?
Yes, there are
I'll just grab
occasionally
one.
some.
I'll
Wait,
just grab one.
catch guidance.
And I'll just hold it and be like, drift globes they're usually white or have a sort of a pastel-y color to them, and they float in the sky. Fire doesn't. Fire is orange and is on the ground.
Also, how
And
much
they
you want
flicker.
for one of these?
You see them take notes. They pull out little police like notepads, and they start writing down notes. They nodding their heads.
He's got all these kids convinced.
Yeah.
And I'm like telling them like tactics on how to like murder people and stuff like that, the easiest way, and just getting done.
Someone does balk and say, "Well, I mean, we did sign up for the City Watch to protect and serve, not to horrifically kill people. Seems more like a job of an army or something."
You don't seem like you've taken a life before.
No, I haven't, sir.
Well, you may have to tonight, and I need you to be ready to take the.
I don't know if I will, but I'll try, sir.
Just remember, it's not murder if they're a fiend.
Okay. Do you think there'll be fiends here?
It's just self-defense. Always.
I
Do you
mean,
think there'll be
I certainly
fiends?
hope so. That'll just make that. If you say there's a fiend here, boom.
I've never seen one. They mentioned them in our training, but they said just to run away screaming in the other direction whenever you saw them, and to leave it to the watchful order or other clerics or paladins.
I mean, they're not wrong.
We have a member of the watchful order here with us, so you'll be safe.
Oh, of course.
Nothing bad will happen to any of you.
Yes, under your guidance.
So long as you're not 2 days away from retirement.
None of you guys are wearing red shirt.
No.
All right, good. Then fan out and check for flame.
Any colors that are similar to red.
Well, actually, let me see what the colors of Waterdeep are.
They're red.
Oh, then they're all wearing red then.
Oh my god. Wait, no, that was a joke.
I think city guards wear green and yellow, but I'm not sure. Anyway,
I'm just
fan out
Waterdeep.
and search for fire.
Oh yeah, no, it's that. It's yellow and green.
Yeah, so they're wearing yellow and green.
I'll turn
It's
to
like
Rex.
the two worst colors.
I'll turn to Rex and say, do you have the fly prepared, or I know it's a low level spell.
I think it's level 3.
Let me look. Could be helpful to get some vantage from up.
No. I have levitate.
I mean,
levitate
just fly just very, very slowly, at 10 feet at a time.
Yeah, but I don't think you can move forward with levitate.
I think you can, question mark? I mean,
push off.
I thought levitate was a limit up. I thought sideways.
Levitate and I will throw you.
Let Nat throw you.
Do not let Indy throw you.
It'll be just like a javelin.
I could if fly's level 3, I'll attempt to cast it. It's fine.
There you go.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait a bit to get a bit further into the night?
Hey, we can wait.
Oh yeah, it's an hour, isn't it?
I'd also like to send Venning up and just have him on full scout mode and alert me.
Oh right.
Oh wait, how many drift globes did they have?
I mean, I believe they just float about intermittently to light the pathways of the City of the Dead.
Wait, those are good magic items.
They're probably also linked to this area and will most likely lose their magical capabilities if they're removed.
Yeah, they magically are just attracted to this area. No one knows why or anything like that, but whenever you take them out, they just come back.
Just start sticking them into the bag. No, it's cool. I'm with Lathander, light my thing. I need this.
They're lifting you up. You're going up in the air.
They're floating. You try to grab one, but it floats away from you, and then maybe they share consciousness or something, or collective consciousness. They're all floating away from you now, high up, so you can't reach them. Which for you is 7 feet, so just out of jumping range.
Well, while they're doing that, I'm gonna start searching.
All right, give me a perception check.
And I'm gonna roll a nat 1 this time.
Can we all do it?
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh my god! I just have to say I'm gonna roll a nat 1.
It's 11.
Rip.
I got a 22.
Okay, so you don't see anything currently in your current area. This could be, of course, just based on where you are. Like I said, the City of the Dead is huge. It's its own ward of Waterdeep, or it could be the timing. You're too early for this arsonist to appear.
Well, I guess maybe we should wait until.
We don't want to be spotted,
Yeah.
We kind of have to
And-
wait until it's too late.
Check over there, men! Don't let the Lord Expert down! Fan out!
Okay, well, now he's not going to be visiting here tonight.
Well, I don't know. It's a big place.
It's true. Just like, that's a good man. Shh. All of you.
Did Venning say anything?
Venning has, of course, he has to stay within 100 feet of you, but he has not seen anything as well.
Does he? I mean, he could just come back.
Yeah. I mean, technically, yes, he could, but can he talk to you though?
No, I would want him to go look around as far as he feels like across this whole area and come back to me and let me know.
Okay.
I mean, otherwise he's only staying within 100 feet, and we'll probably see that on the ground anyway.
So Venning, you can roll perception for him as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a +3. It's also night, and he can't see without the.
No, remember, I switched him to an owl.
Oh, he's an owl now.
I think
okay.
owls.
And I think he might have advantage.
I was going to say, I think owls have advantage.
Yes, I think they do with sight perception.
Yo. Good familiars.
Yeah,
They are
I
the
give
best
up on.
ones that you can get outside of Warlock.
I'm just gonna do a d20 +3 if that's okay.
Yeah, I can get you a stat block for an owl. I'm sorry. Venning currently is still in his raven form.
No, it's totally fine.
I imagine he's just like a bigger, cooler looking raven now.
Edgier.
More wise.
An Odin raven, if you will.
Yeah, now he's definitely like a big badass Odin raven.
What were those rolls there, Rex?
Hold on. Sorry. Advanced die roller. I'm sorry, that's what I was looking for. +3. How do you do advantage? I'll
You
just
just
roll
roll
2.
twice.
No, that's terrible. It's a 22.
All right. So Venning does not see anything. He alights off your shoulder with a hoo, and circles around you, comes back, and just shakes his head.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he didn't say anything, guys. I don't know.
Okay.
Then perhaps we should wait till nightfall. I just worry that we'll get there too late. I'll go around the boys, my wards.
Yes, Lord Expert. Do you have further
All right.
instructions for us?
All right, everyone, shut up. New plan. We're gonna be waiting until nighttime for optimum viewing of fire in the darkness.
Are we to lay wait in ambush for this arsonist?
Yes.
Ah,
This will be a stakeout, boys.
as expected of the Lord Expert to come up with a new plan on the fly.
You know me, I have like extremely high intelligence.
Vera is laughing her ass off in your sword, and you can tell because it's just ringing in your head whenever they make a comment about how smart you are, or like they call you Lord Expert or anything like that.
Do you have any better ideas?
And she says no, but she does it like in between fits of laughter, but this is still hilarious though.
Well, we'll see who's laughing when we catch this kobold.
And when you mentioned kobold, she just started breaking into laughter again.
All right, but yeah, I guess we'll wait until dark.
All right, so you guys wait a bit longer, a couple more hours, and it's night has progressed. The sun has set. The moon has risen. Not quite at zenith, but it's pretty close. And you guys, it's very still. You hear the hooting of some owls that are not venting. And these glow globes are just drifting around. You guys can make another perception check as well.
Okay.
If you feel the need to look around again.
19 that time.
Is it with that disadvantage now that it's nighttime?
If you have dark vision, no. If you don't, then yes.
Well, dark vision, you can see, but you still have disadvantage. Okay. Okay. Let me see.
The
I'll just
glow
roll
globes
that
are
one.
still the glow globes are providing enough
Okay.
light for you to see, but not to investigate like super great if you don't have dark vision.
That's that good.
Okay, so
piece.
I rolled a 15 plus perception plus 8, 23.
And I got a 19.
Okay, so what were your rolls again? Because this person rolled very high. Or sorry,
23.
this thing rolled very high. 23 and 19.
This kobold.
All right. So Indy, you see something off in the distance. It looks to be a figure, a silhouette. You can't really make out finer features. The light is sort of warping around them in a way that's quite strange. It's not quite an invisibility spell, but maybe something similar. But even with the aid of whatever is obfuscating their appearance, you're able to make out an outline of them. It's obviously not a guard based on their size, but and how they're walking, their stature, how they hold themselves, and it's not one of your party, so this area should be cordoned off. There shouldn't be anyone here, other than you and the guard.
Okay.
This
That's
figure is
weird.
pretty small. It's around Nat size. Nat, how tall are you? You're like 5'2"?
4'5".
Oh, okay.
4'5".
So this person's like 5 feet tall, or high 4 feet.
Oh my god, it's taller than.
Nat is also like very like dwarf size small.
Yeah.
I guess we could try to sneak up on them. Does it look like there's a fire lit yet?
It's their back is to you and they're walking away from you, so you can't tell. They're also quite some distance off, so you have to get closer.
Okay. I'll try to sneak up.
Give me a stealth check.
Unless, what is your stealth, Indy? You might be better. Well, Rashani was.
My stealth?
Yeah,
like,
you want to stealth up with me?
yeah, sure. I will. I'll go alone.
Well, Rashani
I mean, I'm
would wanna
assuming
go.
they're following behind you at like maybe a 30-foot distance, so they can jump in case it goes south.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
That's a 16 plus 7, so another 23.
All right.
I got a 21.
All right. Yeah, this person doesn't look like they're on the lookout for other people. They seem to be absorbed in whatever they're doing. And as you approach, you do see that it's a very small individual, not quite as small as Napa, maybe a you think it's a human. Like I said, their back is to you, but maybe a young teen, an adolescent, based on their size. Now that you're closer, a female, a woman, or a young woman, I should say, and with red hair. You can see that due to the light of the glow globes, even with the displacement of the light around them. And you get pretty close, and it looks and you hear her, and it looks like she's repeating something and is Nat's not here, right? She's not. I mean, sorry, they're not stealthing up, right?
I'll try stealthing.
Well, currently these people, Indy and Rashemi, are like within 10 feet of her.
Yeah.
Can I get a little bit close? Not necessarily that close.
And you're about
close.
40. You're about 40 feet from this girl.
Can I just try to get close until I can hear what they're saying?
You would probably have to get within 10 feet because they're murmuring it.
Does it sound like nonsense to me?
So you can try to stealth up, but you might alert them to your presence. Indy,
I
what
don't think
languages?
we're doing any good. Just
Indy, what languages do you speak?
Me? I should just speak.
Common and Infernal?
Yeah.
Alright, so you don't recognize what this person is saying. But whatever they are saying, they're repeating it over and over like a mantra or a prayer.
Yeah. Once we get close enough. Sorry, did I speak over someone?
No, I was about to say something. And
Okay.
you see as you get closer, I'm just going to narrate a little. You'll have time to act before things happen. But you see that as they are praying, and you're getting closer and closer, very very quiet, creeping up on them. That a tiny light has been lit in front of her, and you can see it because it's sort of washing around her form. And it's beginning to spread, and now you see that it looks actually like fire, but it's engulfing her hands and shoulder.
Am I close enough to counterspell whatever the hell she's doing?
You can try. You see her. If you're doing 60 feet, counterspell will work. But it's engulfing her hands and her shoulder now. It's spreading to her back, but she hasn't cast a spell as far as you know. Rex. But it definitely looks like she's building up to something.
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna counterspell.
I'll say, once I get close, I'll say, stop where you are.
I want to try hold person.
Ah! And she freaks out, turns around, and unleashes a spell.
Teenagers.
She's wait, no, look out! Do you do anything, Rex? She is casting a spell. You would recognize this spell. This spell is Fireball, and she is casting it at Rashemi and Indy.
What happened to the spell she was just casting?
She was building up to cast it.
Oh, okay.
Can I
I'm
not
totally
get
gonna
my
counterspell.
hold person off fast enough?
We could enter initiative.
Yeah, you can enter initiative to see what happens. This is what she will do on her turn. She basically yells in surprise and screams and turns around and is like, basically, you see her, Rex, basically about to launch Fireball. So we'll see initial order, see how it goes. Who does what first?
Well,
We'll see how it goes.
really what we're trying to figure out is, does Rex need to cast Fireball?
Let's see what she rolls. She got 13.
How do I...
Indy is going to get initiative of... Oh, that's cocked.
Oh, I got
7.
No. I'm stopping.
Alright, what did Rashemi get? Oh, sorry, Nat.
10.
Okay, so Rex goes first, then this mystery girl, and let me just write this down. Nat. Ooh.
I'm probably gonna head to bed soon. It's been a long day.
Oh, that's understandable, man.
Yeah.
I assume Indy has a higher dex than Rashemi, because you both got 7s, right?
Yeah, I have a dex of 18.
So that's the order. Rex, what would you like to do?
Have they started to cast it yet?
No, they'll do that on your turn. It looks like they're, pretty much going to, though. It's a weird way of casting it, but you do recognize it as, fireball.
Yeah. I will look at my spell sheet. I have hold person prepared, so I will cast that.
All right. Just put that block in the old.
I tried. Oh, it's asking me questions.
Yeah, I'll ask you what level you want to prepare. Wisdom saving throw. What's the DC they need to hit?
15.
She succeeds.
All right. And I'm gonna make sure I'm still in range for anything else I want to do.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And then on her turn, she basically you surprised her. She turns around and launches this fireball. But she does preface it with a wait, no, look out! Rex, do you want to counterspell or should they make dex saves?
Oh no.
All right. So this small flame travels a few feet, but it gets about halfway in between her and Indy and Rashemi and fizzles out. She goes, "Wait, what?" And then when she sees her spell fizzle out, she just turns tail and runs.
Get her, boys.
Time to grapple the child once again.
You are adept at doing so. She does appear to be older than Ren, though, but you would guess now that you've seen her face. Her face also is pale, but like lined with dirt or soot, and so you can pretty much only see really the green of her eyes and red hair as far as facial features go. But she looks to be about 16 or 17, maybe.
16 or 7?
16 or 17, sorry.
Okay.
Like mid to late teens.
Okay.
But yeah, she uses the rest of her movement, her 30 feet, to run away from you. And now it is Nat's turn.
Sorry, I wasn't able to sign there. Give me a quick rundown.
So, Rex tried to hold
She's
person. She succeeded in the save. She surprised. You surprised her. She turned around and launched a fireball at you, but she did say, "Look out." Then Rex counterspelled the fireball, and seeing her spell fizzle out, she just ran away from you.
Okay, how far away?
30 feet. Her
30
full
feet?
movement. Her full movement away from you. 30 feet.
Okay, then I'll just move the 30 feet and try to grab.
All right. Give me a. I'm assuming it's a strength athletics contested score, correct?
Yep.
And she can use acrobatics to get out of that, I believe. She will be definitely better at that than strength, so she will try that instead.
Do you want me to do that in the bot? Is this
Yeah, whatever you
we're in
want.
combat?
Whatever you can if you want. She's gonna roll. She got a 15. Wow, that's good for her.
19.
Okay, yeah.
I had +7, so
She hit a +3. She rolled a 12. So you just
there you go.
pick.
Oh, I rolled 12 too.
So you grab her and like lift her feet off the ground. She's kicking in the air, and you lean back to hold her up in a full Nelson. And she's like, "No, let me go!"
Just stop. Just give us your story. We can figure this all out.
I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm supposed to do this.
Well, just because you're supposed to do it doesn't mean it's not wrong.
That's a good point.
Just tell us what's going on. Who told you to do that?
He's the flaming tongue.
Who is that?
Who's that? Yeah.
The flaming tongue's the flaming tongue. It's. Hey, tell me what things to burn and what not to.
Yeah, but who's the flaming tongue?
Awesome.
I don't know. They speak to me in my head. Their voice.
Yeah, that does no, kid. You don't listen to voices.
I never seen the flaming tongue. Okay, I can take you to an avatar.
You don't want to watch Avatar right now.
No, they're agent in the city. They're the one giving me orders now that I'm here. They'll tell you I'm not doing anything wrong or bad.
Well,
I'm supposed to be doing this.
Why did the city put out contracts for your arrest?
What? Why would they do that?
Why do you think?
I don't know.
Because you're starting fires in town.
Fires are good, though.
What? No, they're bad. Stop. Oh my god. Why? Okay, when did you start hearing these voices?
She says, the flaming tongue spoke to me, the voice spoke to me as early as I remember.
Let me just.
And then she,
Who can read minds?
and then she says, and then when I was in at my home, this, another worshiper of the flaming tongue came to visit me. And I was so excited because I thought I was all alone. I was the only one that worshipped the flaming tongue. And they were...
When was the last time you saw him?
Oh, wow. She thinks, she says, a fortnight ago. And they came up and they were wearing gray, which is kind of weird, but they used fire magic, and they said,
Awesome.
They say they're the librarian.
I don't know what that is. And they said that the flaming tongue had need of me in the city of stone. I was supposed to come here and meet with an avatar of the flaming tongue, and then they would guide me further.
They said they meet you here?
I was supposed to find the avatar of flame.
Do you know where?
And you're doing that by setting fire.
Yes, they told me to set fire.
Are they here?
The city needed... They said they told me that the city needed to be... she will say yes, the avatar of flame is here. She says...
Take us to him.
And then she says, they told me that I needed to set these fires to help the city.
Well, we want to do it too. Take us to them.
Oh, are you also fellow worshippers of the flaming tongue?
I don't know. We're shopping around right now.
Oh, well, yes, of course. The flaming tongue always welcomes potential worshippers. I'll take you to the avatar of flame. They'll explain everything.
That'll
Let's
put her
go.
down. I can move faster than her if she starts running.
Well, you set her down, and she doesn't look like she is going to run. She does appear to be very excited, though, like hopping from one foot to the other. And she says, "Wait, you walk on two legs a lot, don't you? Okay, so this will be strange." And she's thinking for a bit. Okay, I think I know where it is.
Okay.
Do you usually walk on more or less legs than two?
I usually fly around. And she's mimicking, like, gliding like a bird. And she flaps her arms like wings.
How?
I don't know, I just do it. I'm like, oh, that bird looks pretty. And then I'm a bird.
Oh, we got Druid, huh? Okay, well,
Whoa.
hey.
We can't do that yet. Maybe after we meet this guy.
Yeah, so that's why I was thinking, like, how to get there by walking and not flying. But I got it. They're underground. It's in a wet and smelly place.
In a crypt.
Okay, well, hey, you just lead us there as best you can, and we'll follow.
Okay. Are you also familiar with this gray-robed follower of the flame? You called them something.
Oh, yeah, we've heard of them before. Yeah.
Are they prevalent in this place? Are there a lot of them around? I need to meet them.
They're trying to be.
Oh, that's good.
So
That's
we'll see
good.
how it goes.
And then she's wandering around in it's like a meandering way because she's like she'll stop at a street and be like, no, that's not right. I think it's this one. No. And then she'll eventually go where she thinks she's going, and she's a wandering, meandering way, but she's leading you into the trade ward. And
While we're heading there, I want to do two things before we get wherever the hell we're about to get. I want to. Can I write? We don't have a what are they called? Secretarian, do we?
no, you have Caxer, but she's not here.
Shit. Do I still have a scroll of sending? Do.
I generally allow you to speak, like through Caxir if you're trying to communicate with someone else.
I
That's
just
inactive.
wanted her to have her tell Vera about what we're doing.
Okay.
Just give her a heads up of what's going on.
Yeah. And Vera sends back, oh, you're going back into the sewers, huh? Do I need to place magical markers on all of you again?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, should I, like, be ready just to receive a body, or...
Maybe.
Okay. I'll get some diamonds ready.
And the other thing I wanted to do is attempt to cast Detect Thoughts and just try to get like a surface level read.
All right.
But I'll walk away from people because I don't have it prepared. So away we go.
She's like,
Wait, Rex,
Oh no!
she's like, stay close. You don't want to get lost. This city of stone is weird. All these buildings. I think they're called.
I'm gonna take some damage.
you okay over there, Rex?
No.
How
I'm
much
fine.
damage do you
Whatever.
take? It's 2d6, right?
Yeah. Awesome.
Pretty average.
And there's some blowback from the spell.
I'm gonna try it one more time. I really want to get a sense of what this kid's thinking, and if they're being like controlled. Is this the smartest idea?
I don't think they're being controlled. Are you trying to do sending or?
No, I'm trying to do detect thoughts to figure out what's going through this kid's head.
I mean, I think they're being controlled, but not like a Gaius or anything like that.
All right, I'll
You
leave it
can
alone
get
for now.
insight check if you want.
Yeah.
I got. Hey, you all. I got to sleep.
All right.
I went to bed at 3 a.m. last night.
All right. Well, yeah. Indy. Wait, before you go, we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about if we want a new party member and what their position would be so far as temp. I didn't message Evelyn.
Want to hold off? Can we hold off on this until next week?
Yeah. I did message Evelyn to give me some more details on what's going on with her, but we will see. But yeah, we can bring it up next week as well if you want to hold off on it.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Good night, man. Oh yeah, you can do an insight check if you want.
I'll give insight.
I'll do that. Quick.
Insight proficient. 17?
All right.
Oh, sorry.
You can roll too.
Yeah, it didn't roll higher, so whatever.
Okay, so you think Nat, like you were voicing to Rex, maybe out of character or in character, that this person is being controlled by the avatar of flame / these gray-robed people, but it's not magically. She looks to be a very young, naive, impressionable girl, and they convinced her that what she's doing is right.
I'll convey that to the others in hushed tones.
Poor girl. She's not that different from many other in the cities, I'm sure.
And then she gets to the end, like, of a street, and she says, "Here we are!" and she is looking down at a manhole, and she's trying to tug it off, but she's like, but it looks like she's not very strong. This usually takes a while.
Nat will lift it.
Wow!
Just smash.
How are you so strong and you're smaller than me?
I train a lot and eat my greens.
Eating greens. I eat greens too. Maybe it's not the right kind though.
Anybody that knows Nat knows that 90% of their diet is sugar. So
She says she pulls out a bunch of like random
Wait,
bits of grass and herbs from her pouch. Which greens should I be focusing on? And she's holding up to your nose for you to smell them.
I don't know. Nat knows nothing of healthy food. And it's like, a balance is always the best idea.
Okay. She stuffs them back in her pouch.
So what is it an entrance to?
This is a manhole. It's an entrance. You can tell from the smell right away. It's an entrance to the sewers.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Like I said, it's going to be very wet and very stinky. And dark. If that's an issue.
Let's see.
Okay, here we go.
I got one of those drift globes.
And she just jumps in. And there's a splash. She goes, ew.
I'll swan dive in.
Oh, gross. Nat will dive into it.
And she is making a flame appear in her hand, and she's using that as a light source. And she says, okay, follow
lead the
me.
way.
All right.
I'm sorry, someone you said something?
I said just, lead the way.
Oh, okay. And she'll stop every so often at an intersection and look. And Nat, you can read Druidic now, right?
Yep.
All right. You see signs in Druidic that she's following.
Oh.
They look to be very poorly crafted signs. Like maybe the person who wrote them is not the best at writing, especially in stone. But they're still there and they're still visible to you, and you see the signs, and she's obviously following them. Okay. And then after a while, about maybe 30 minutes, and to a point where you're completely lost, and you're not sure you took even the most sort of like direct route to this place, but maybe a random confused way that makes sense to someone not familiar with the city. She brings you to this very large room. She says, okay, so there are a couple of rules that I need to tell you before you meet the Avatar of Flame.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, rule number 1, you always have to refer to him as his Flaminess or Lord Avatar of Flame.
Now, real quick, his flaminess, did he suggest that, or did you call him that?
No, I just call him that. I thought it was the most appropriate title for him, and he seemed to agree. Or rather, he didn't say anything else.
I stop and pause and I say, I forgot to tell the guards that we were leaving.
Okay. And
how long have we been walking?
when there was all those other people in the city, I had to hide from them. They were very loud.
Well, we'll consider it training.
Okay,
Please
second.
continue.
He is very his flaminess is like fire in a lot of aspects, and his temper is like it too. So try not to do anything that will make him angry, because he likes to burn things when he gets angry. Also, his flaminess is very large and bright, so don't be surprised by that. Okay, I think that's everything.
All right, go ahead and introduce us, I guess.
Okay, and she says, she's not speaking to you. She says, "Let's go, Torchy." And when she says that, there's this very small little fire elemental that pops up on her shoulder. she's like, you see her pause for a moment, like psyching herself up. She goes, okay, I'm ready.
Turn to Rex, like, is this a familiar?
What'd you say?
Is this a familiar you can do? Pointing at the little.
No. That'd be
fire.
fun.
Oh, right, I forgot. Say hi, Torchy. And she mimics his voice as, hi!
Now we'll wave.
He usually speaks in fire language, so it's hard, I sometimes translate what he's saying.
Does Torchy have a face?
Torchy looks like this.
I'm gonna say, like, does Torchy seem to know more than the girl?
Oh, jeez.
Did this avatar give you your powers?
No, I could just do it once the flaming tongue spoke to me.
Wait, did you post the picture?
Yeah, I did.
Where's it
I
at?
can do it again.
Oh, you know what? I X'd it out, and I probably X'd it out for everybody.
Can you see it?
Did you post it? Oh, there it is.
It's in Roll20.
Gotcha. I was looking in Discord. Yes, that's cute. Very cute. All right.
Okay, let's go. And then she's leading to this large, brazier in this underground area. This looks to be like maybe a temple, a ruin of a temple long since buried, as Waterdeep sort of builds on top of the previous iteration of it. And she says, she basically kneels down in front of the brazier and says, she says, oh, flaminess, how bright is your light? May you appear before us and give us your guidance. And she raises her hands up into the air, and then she steps back for a bit, and then there's this very bright light that appears, or fire that ignites in the brazier, even though you don't see any sort of coals or wood or anything or source for this fire. And out of the fire rises this very huge, and I believe the size exactly is, that you would estimate it to be, is gargantuan. Fire, elemental, bird, creature, thing. And it raises its wings up and gives out a cry, and then turns to look at this sort of like this kneeling girl and all of you behind it, and she's like motioning you guys very energetically to kneel down with her.
I kneel down and shout, "Your flaminess!"
Insight check.
Bad.
Come on. 11.
All right, so it's not a difficult roll. It does not like the term your flaminess at all. And then it's beginning to speak to this girl. Oh, I forgot, she didn't introduce herself. She would have said her name was Pyre.
I think dropped out the tail end of that name. What was it? Oh, thanks. Pyre?
Yeah. And she's speaking to it, but she's replying to it back in common, if that makes, so you think more so you guys can understand at least one side of the conversation. And she says, "Your flaminess, I have brought with me potential potential followers of the Flaming Tongue. And then it says something. Just, well, no, I didn't set fire to the city of the undead. Well, no, I thought this was more important. No, don't get mad, Flamey. Your flaminess.
Just flaming now.
And then there's this look of terror on her face, and she says, and she turns to look around, to look back at you guys, and she just mouths the words, run. And I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's do it.
Oh, ball.
14.
Let me get to the page here.
We have that Ring of Spell story.
Oh,
right?
that's right.
No, it's not that. Is
And so you guys are right here. I'll probably modify its health because, truth be told, I thought there would be more people here. So
yeah.
so let me just, and
Well,
of course,
keep in mind
Pyre
that
is here
also-
too.
it's also almost midnight. I don't know if we want to hold this off.
We can hold it off as well.
Okay.
But we'll roll initiative, and I'll have Pyre join you guys with Flamey, or Torchy, sorry. And I need to change her name.
I'm scared.
Let me. Can I just do one thing? See if it works. I really want to try this.
I'm sorry, I rolled initiative in the wrong spot. Here, let me fix it. Click on my name and then what? Click the thing. I got a 20 if you can fix it.
Yep, I will. What are your dex scores? Or wait, use your intelligence, right?
Yeah, it's +4. But you can go by dex. I'll go second. It's fine. Or I'll opt to go second. There's not like a water damage type, is there?
There's cold.
Yeah.
She's actually ahead of you. So she's like right here praying to him. And your guys are like back here. Torchy's with her. And then I'll roll for her. And then Torchy goes right after her. And then I'll roll for the Flame Avatar. And we'll stop there. It's gonna go ahead of you, Shemi. Just gonna say that right now. Its dex score is Chef's Kiss.
You don't say.
Okay, and with that, we will end.
Wait, no, can I try one quick thing? Real
Yes.
Quick? All right, I guess just destroy water on top. And I dump water on it.
Let me see. I think this might do some damage to it. Let me make sure and see.
If it's like a fire elemental, it acts.
Because I'm looking, I wrote all of its things in there.
It's a little bit more than an elemental.
I don't think it'll hurt it though.
Mm,
No,
yeah.
it doesn't. I know the fire elemental says something. I was looking up fire elemental stats, and I saw the thing that if it crosses water, it gets hurt. This thing does not have that. It looks to be like maybe a crater elemental.
Yeah. Once I threw a fire elemental, my cast. It's like I did the math because it's like it's not like it's weird. And
You guys, if you guys could kill an adult dragon, this should be no problem for you. Okay, just breathe.
Let's hope
No,
there's more next week.
I was worried it was a phoenix. I thought like the because there's like oh yeah, well we can end. Go to tabletop.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching and playing. We'll see you next week.
Really hope.